Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, if you guys didn't know, I am a giant Transformers fanboy. And I thought, why not? Let's do some rankings for all these films. We're going to be ranking all 7 live action films from the 2007 Michael Bay film all the way to the latest Rise of the Beast. I just saw Rise of the Beast the other day. Fun experience, but I don't want to give away too much because again, I want to rank these in order of how good they are. But yeah, let's get into it. When people think of Transformers, they usually think of the G1 series, Generation 1, the classic 80s cartoon animated series and toy line. I didn't grow up during that generation. I grew up on the, I guess, so well-known Unicron trilogy of TV shows being Energon, Cybertron, and Armada, including the animated series and the Prime series that was on Cartoon Network. Those shows were elite. Again, like, I kind of have a different mindset compared to other OG Transformer fans. I think will be a bit helpful to you guys because I feel like there's not enough of, I guess, my generation of Transformer fans on YouTube. I'd give a bit more of a different input than you guys if you're an OG fan. The rankings are S, A, B, C, and D. Just a heads up, if I put a movie in S, say if I put Bumblebee in S tier, don't compare it to like another S tier film, something to like Inception, Interstellar, Batman, Pulp Fiction. I'm mainly ranking these only within these pool of films, if you guys get me. So the first movie is Bumblebee, directed by Travis Knight, which came out I think in 2019. It's pretty much Iron Giant meets E.T. with a Transformers coating over it. I'll put it in A. It does the job very, very well. It has the greatest Transformers sequence in any of these films, being the first 10-15 minutes prologue set on Cybertron. I still think that's the best depiction we've had of Transformers in live action, and I want more. However, I think even though it is set on Earth, the dynamic between Haley Stanfield's character and Bumblebee is adorable and very, very charming. John Cena is a cool character. Even though he has that typical like militia, military guy who's angry at first, I don't think it's an S. A lot of people would probably put it in S, as it's like, surprisingly, it's a lot of people's favorite. There was a lot of fat that could have been trimmed. Some of the side characters were very, very generic and not really memorable. Haley Stanfield's character's best friend in the amusement park, he was a bit forgettable. I don't think he needed to be there. The family were kind of I didn't really care about them. Again, it was only the main character and Bumblebee. I like the fact that not every film needs to be a large-scale epic blockbuster. The scope of this movie is a lot more smaller compared to the others. It's definitely the smallest out of all of these films, but it gets the job done. As a Transformers film, it's pretty solid. As a boy meets girl meets robot alien, does it beautifully. You really feel the connection between Bumblebee and Haley Stanfield. But I'll give it an A. Next movie is Transformers Dark of the Moon. I'm probably going to put it in an S tier. I still think, say what you will about the Michael Bay Transformer films, they are epic movies. They are blockbusters. They are there to get people in seats, and that's what Dark of the Moon did. It was a great culmination of the 3 films prior, with Sam Witwicky's storyline and that saga as a whole, with Optimus, the Autobots, and the Decepticons coming in a full wrap up. The entire climax of this film was amazing. A lot of death, a lot of gore. This is pretty much the most R-rated PG-13 film I've ever seen. Deep at how many like Transformers get killed so brutally. The way Transformers Dark of the Moon was treated when I was like, I think I was 11 at the time. In primary school, the way people thought of Endgame, when Avengers Endgame was coming out now, it was like that for us back then in primary school. And Dark of the Moon delivered it so much. Optimus's badass entrance, like when he's like slamming through and killing Decepticons. We finally see Shockwave in live action. Soundtrack was beautiful. There's no hope left. Theme where all the Autobots get into the spaceship and leave. Super like somber and super sad and like melancholy. Oh bro, it's so good. The highway scene, the gunfight between Ironhide, Sideswipe, and the 2 Ravager Decepticons. Transformers The Last Night. Now, a lot of people would probably say I put it in D, but I do have a soft spot for it, not gonna lie. I think I loved it infinitely more than Age of Extinction. I'm a sucker for Arthurian legend. I love like the whole King Arthur, Sword in the Stone, Merlin, magic wielder, staff concept. I loved the prologue opening where it was set during Arthurian times, giant fantasy battles. More was it Dragonzord, the dragon transformer. It was really, really cool. It did get bogged down by a lot of like crappy human side stories, which I didn't really care about. The brilliance of Michael Bay, that he knows how to make things look good. The car shots are cool. The action scenes are cool. I love the final climax. It has one of my favorite OSTs in the entire franchise, especially when they're fighting in the Citadel. Everything's flipping over. I do like Mark Wahlberg's character. We see Josh Duhamel's character from Sector 7 come back, and the Unicron build-up that really went nowhere. It's a guilty pleasure. I would watch it, but it isn't really a good film, to be fair. There's a lot of stuff that's very, very lackluster, but you can tell a lot of people were just having fun and didn't really care. I look at Anthony Hopkins' character in the movie. That guy clearly was just like, I'm here for a paycheck, let's have fun. The Optimus Prime becoming Nemesis Prime was a very, very fun little bit, especially as an Armada fan. The whole Nemesis Prime episodes was so lit. So seeing like Optimus with the purple eyes, just stone cold evil, was really, really cool to see. It's a fun film, but it's a dumb fun film. And it's very, very stupid. And we move on to the first film, 2007, goes S tier. This, people really don't realize how much of like a magical experience this movie is, especially as like an 8-year-old watching this movie for the first time. Keep it like the cartoons were ongoing at the time. I was watching Cybertron, this movie, the video games along with this, dude, the soundtrack. This was the first time we were seeing Transformers in live action. And even on rewatch, the movie still holds up. The humor still is funny. The visuals. How did this movie... this movie came out in 2007. It looks so much better than 90% of movies that come out now. 2023. It's been over 10 years. It still gives me chills every time I see the transformation scenes. The Blanky score is still heavenly to listen to. It pretty much takes, what, an hour for the Autobots to arrive and we see Optimus Prime and everyone come together. The payoff is so satisfying. Oh, it's so good, man. Like, Sam Witwicky, even though he's a nerd and a loser, he's such a lovable nerd and loser. You can't not but root for him. There's clear nostalgia bias for this, but I don't care, man. I have a stronger nostalgic attachment to this film than The Last Knight, but it's definitely on the weaker side of Michael Bay's catalogue of Transformer films. The first film has such a good premise and a good balance of action, humor, story, narrative, and balancing characters, but the second film kind of just diverted a bit too far to the right, and it just didn't hit as it did in the first film. But then again, it made a lot of money, but... Like, Devastator was a bit underwhelming, The Fallen was very, very underwhelming. They removed, like, Optimus was barely in the film, although it does have the greatest fight sequence in I think any of these films, being Optimus in the forest saving Sam, and he has that iconic line where he was like, it's like 4v1 and he's like, I'll take you all on, and the music's playing, Sam's running away, he gets killed, but like it was a hero sacrifice. That was definitely the highlight of the film for me. But again, I think they kind of overdid it with like the humor, the over-sexualized humor. It just the racism jokes were way OTT. They did my boy Jetfire so dirty. He's one of my favorite Autobots. They made him like it's some weak old man who did nothing but sacrifice himself to upgrade Optimus. It is what it is as well. But again, characters like Sam and John Turturro's character, Aiden Simmons from Sector 7, one man alone, protecting the country he loves, or whatever how it goes. Turturro's character is so funny, I love it. But I'll give it a C. It's not good. The script is very, very weak. You have like these weird, wacky scenes in Sam in college. We're like, what is this? The next film is the latest, Rise of the Beast. I'm probably going to put it in B. It's a solid entry and a solid sequel to the soft reboot post Bumblebee. It gets everything correct as a film, but I think it plays it a tad bit too safe and generic with some of the character archetypes. Although, like, again, I think Noah as the main character is as good as Haley Stanfield's character and Sam Witwicky. The humans overshadow the Transformers just a bit in this film. I wanted to see a bit more of the Maximals, who were really, really cool. I loved Optimus Primal. It probably is the second best intro to a Transformers film with the whole Unicron thing. I'm trying to be as spoiler free as possible since the movie just came out. But Serge, the villain, his introduction was so cold. His first few opening seconds were really, really cool. Optimus Prime himself has such a cool, like, subtle character arc, which we don't really see in the Bay films, but like, there's an arc there with Optimus where he doesn't really like humans at first. He's very, very hesitant, but then throughout the film, he kind of lowers his guard, but he still retains that like aggression and like that war general from the Bay films, including Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast. They have the best designs, hands down, in terms of Autobots, Decepticons, robot mode and vehicle modes. It's the best design for Optimus, Bumblebee. It's refreshing for once that Mirage is the companion character for once. Previous 6 films, I'm just happy that more Autobots are getting screen time outside of Bumblebee and Optimus Prime. The final climax was really, really cool. Again, very like video game climactic boss battle, get to the key. Even though I love the action in 07 and Dark of the Moon, I would say Rise of the Beast has the cleanest action. No shaky cam at all the shots, from camera shots to tracking shots, are very, very clean. You know which Transformer is fighting which Transformer. The CG is pretty solid. Ron Perlman voicing Optimus Primal, goated voice, and you have Peter Dinklage voicing Scourge. Very, very cool, intimidating robotic voices, I can't lie. Soundtrack is great. If you're a fan of 90s hip-hop and 90s music in general, this is down your alley, even retaining some of the OG Jablonski scores from the previous Bay films. Yeah, I really enjoyed Rise of the Beast. I'm very, very curious what they're gonna do in the next edition of the franchise, because that ending was out of left field, let's just say that. Finally, we have Transformers The Last Night. I'm going to put it D, not Last Night, Age of Extinction. I'm going to put that D because this, like, if I was doing a Transformers marathon, honestly, I'd watch every single one of these films and I'd probably pass on Age of Extinction. This movie was too long. I think it was almost running at, 2 hours, 15 minutes. I've only seen it once, and that was when I was in cinema, and I was struggling to watch it. As a hardcore Transformers fan, like I am, I tried being engaged in this film, but it was action for the sake of action. It felt very, very disconnected from Dark of the Moon. When you introduced the Dinobots, that was supposed to be like the main reason to go watch this film. We're going to see Grimlock for the first time and the rest of the Dinobots, but they just came in right at the climax of the film. They had no characters. They were just there as just like weapons for Optimus to use. There was no character for them. They didn't speak. They didn't even say he was Grimlock. And yeah, in terms of the human characters, they're probably the worst in all the cast. Again, no Sam Witwicky, no Megan Fox, no Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, no Josh Duhamel, Sector 7. Instead, we were replaced with Katie Yeager, which I think he's a cool protagonist, but everyone else, the daughter character, the boyfriend character, why were they there? I do not care about them. Even the CG is still a bit iffy with the whole like humanoid transformium concept. They introduced Galvatron. They didn't explain that correctly from what I remember, but I didn't like his design, and then they brought him back as Megatron anyway in The Last Night. So I don't know. But this is definitely the most forgettable, the most painful film to watch. And there you have it. I think I'm pretty happy with this list. Again, S tier, we have the OG 2007 film, then we have Dark of the Moon in S tier, Bumblebee A tier, Rise of the Beast B tier, Revenge of the Fallen and The Last Night in C tier, and Age of Extinction in D tier. Do you guys agree? Like, I'll probably explain this in like a video, essay type video rather than like this because it's so unscripted. But I have such a sentimental value with these films. I grew up with these films. I know they're not the best. The audience experience from these films are just so like unique, and you don't get anything like that from anything else. And even though there are better blockbusters, there's just something so unique about these Transformer films. Are any of these like the definitive Transformer films I want? No. I still think like the definitive story arcs, the story in general for Transformers are the Cybertron games. Definitely recommend you guys play them. They're very, very good. Yeah, I don't want to waffle on now, but yeah, that is my list. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Please let me know down below. And with that said, I am signing out, everyone. Please take care, like, share, subscribe, and I shall see you guys next time. Roll out.